Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start another project, as y'all can see. Yeah, we got empty tables, and that's kind of unnormal around here. Normally we got several things going on at one time. But I picked up a bike from a local guy on Facebook Marketplace a good while back. Cool kid. And so it's one of my favorite bikes. And so I thought, man, I'm going to do something a little different with this that I don't normally do. I don't normally like taking old vintage bikes and sticking new style motors on them. I like keeping them original look. That's just me. A lot of people, it's a lot easier to work on a Predator than, you know, the old school stuff, because they can be very temperamental, as some of y'all guys know if you mess with the old Tecumsehs and whatnot, carburetor issues and all that. So I thought, well, I'll do something different. I'll try and do a, you know, kind of a budget type build, I guess you'd say. I scavenge parts all over the place. Facebook Marketplace, you know, swap meets, garage sales. Never know what people got. So I got tons of stuff laying around. So what I'm trying to do is not put a whole lot of time into this bike. We're going to paint it, obviously, but we're not going to go spend the money on powder coat and all the fancy stuff. You know, good old rattle can job. We're going to do, like I said, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to put an updated style engine on it. But I'll spin you around. We're going to take a look at it, show you with a power plant, and y'all can tell me what you think. So let's get into today's video. Alright, look at this jewel here, boy. One of my old favorite bikes. Matter of fact, one of the very first bikes that I done, probably can go back, I don't think I even done a video on it, but I restored an old Bird. Bird makes several different models of bikes. I'll have to look this one up and see exactly what model this one is. It did come with fenders. You can see we're missing one down there. Got the fender brace. We got a fender brace at the back here. And yeah, don't laugh now. This is how I got it, okay? So, yeah, not even treated. But this model was supposed to have shocks come from the little tab down there at the bottom. They come up to a bracket that was bolted underneath the bottom of the seat back there. So, kind of a rough ride. But the gym I got this from, bought him a brand new Predator, threw a Predator on it, and said it was, yeah, a handful to ride, which, you know, that's way more motor than what these things originally came with. These things came with like a 3 horsepower engine. But I kind of looked it over, and the sprocket, I don't know if, well, you really can't zoom in down there on it, but sprocket don't look too bad. And I like these old sprockets. Is it going to show up? Yeah, see how they punched all the holes in it from the factory? Thought that was kind of cool. But the fender braces are there. Scrub brake. Let's see if we can get down here. The aluminum, your scrub brake thing. Majority of that looks like it's still in good shape. Spring is a little on the wonky side. And this is yeah, looks like a part from Azure. Looks like it does have a Hilliard style clutch on it. Maybe? Because I think he said he put a new clutch on it. Chain I'm not too sure about. But the motor was like brand new, and it's been sitting in the shed for a while. Front tire looks good. Back tire is, yeah, back tire I think is gone. I had to shoot some air in it a while ago, and it's already flat again. So what we're gonna do with this thing here is, that back tire is about gone, ain't it? Yeah, I think it's got a tube in it, because look at that valve stem. It's not in there right, so I think it's got a tube in it. And that tire's about gone. So this thing's been sitting. I wonder if it'll crank. How about I put y'all on the stand? We'll see if it'll crank. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If the tire's almost gone and it's gonna run, yeah. All right, well, y'all stay tuned and grab your popcorn. This might get interesting. Okay, I know it does have oil in it. Now if it's gonna crank or not, that's a different story. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah. All right, that's on. Oh, get back. Lovely. Oh, yeah. I think the tire is just spinning on the rim. I think. I don't know. The valve stem's in it. Yeah, we definitely need a tire now. Man, that old gas is raunchy. All right. Well, definitely need to get all the gas drained out of that. I think I can take this engine away. He bolted everything together. He welded a bunch of stuff to the frame, but I think we put all that stuff, get all the gas out for sure, drain the carburetor, and I can put this engine back together, and we'll repurpose that for something else. He said it was like brand new. He only tried to ride it a few times. So, okay, engine time. Oh, let me throw it up here on the table. We got us a powerhouse of an engine, folks. Yeah, you know where it's coming from. It says it right there on the box. We're gonna open this up. Let's see, where's the razor blade? Right here. Tell you what we got going on here. Go Power Sports is gracious enough to supply me with a motor for this here build. Knew what I was doing. Said, hey, try one of these out. So, let's see if I can get it out of the box. I better sit it on the floor. Oh, let's get all this paperwork stuff out of here so we don't lose it. Got an owner's manual. Looks like you got a crank shim, spacer. Then you got a flat bolt, washer. Let's see what else you got in here. You got a spark plug toolkit, little spanner T-handle thing. Take the plug out. I got a Go Power Sports pin. I don't know. Maybe I put that in the box. I have no idea. So I'm not sure if you get a pin or not. What else in here? Oh, let's pull this off. You got the plunger thing that covers the end of the crank so it doesn't get damaged in shipping. Now let's see if we can get it out of the box. I think that's it. All right. Isn't this thing so cute? 98cc motor. Look at that. Recommended oil 10W30. No oil. So we'll go ahead and remove this. We get that out of the way. Very cool. Choke lever. Throttle. So you can just run your. It's got a stop right there, so you can run your cable right to the eyelet, so you have throttle. Very cool. Another tag up here we don't need, whatever it says. Shipped from the factory, no fuel, blah, blah, blah. Very cool. So it's an overhead valve. Got another tag on it, no oil. Man, I guess they got enough on here. Overhead valve, 98cc gasoline engine. Very cool. So, we're going to do some, there's your kill wire where you hook your kill to. Oh, it's got an on and off for the fuel right here at the front of the tank. That's kind of cool. So you can actually shut the fuel off for like transporting it or whatever, storage. And engine does come with the adapter plate. Airplane again. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. There's your adapter plate that's already mounted on the engine. Ain't that pretty cool? So that's what we're going with. 98cc engine. We're going to do some different stuff with this. I don't normally stick new style engines on old style bikes. We're going to try something different. We're going to put this thing on the bike, which I think it should fit. Muffler might be a little in the way due to the frame that we're using. But we're going to see how this thing runs, how it sounds, how it cranks right out of the box. Obviously after we put oil in it. And see how it rides on the bike. And then we're going to go back later and do some other stuff to it. Probably going to get rid of the exhaust, get rid of the goofy air cleaner box, dazzle it up so it actually fits to the bike. You know, probably paint something here and there, not sure. Yeah, see if we can't clean up the throttle some, kind of make it look more, I don't know, cleaned up. But we're going to try it out first, see how it runs on the bike, all that good stuff. I've never done anything with the 98cc motor. This is normally comes factory on a lot of the bikes, and everybody usually just pulls them off and goes the 212 way. gonna also want to rip this thing apart, pull the side cover off of it. I want to see what the inside looks like. So if we're gonna do all that, might as well delete the governor. But we're gonna test it out first as is and see how it performs. And then see if we can't squeeze a little bit more juice out of it, make it sound a little bit better. Here we are, we're back in focus. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get this thing up here on the table. We're gonna rip it apart. Do know I have an extra set of shocks somewhere. Go Power Sports carries the shocks to put on the back. I know I have to probably make a bracket to hold the rear seat up. I'm gonna see if I have a seat laying around, that way I don't have to get my seat guy to make one because he is extremely busy. I think I have a back tire laying around. Front one I think we can reuse. We just give it a good cleaning. The bars on this thing, let's take a look. I don't know if y'all were aware or not, some of these bars on these bikes, they were actually chrome. Just the top section, like down to the top tree, and the rest of it was, rest of them were painted. This one looks like, from the color I see, there was, I don't know, maybe this one was chromed all the way down. That looks like a little chrome right in there. Can't tell. I think the bike maybe might have been originally red, not for sure. Does have the original sticker on there. A lot of times down here on the engine plate, let's see, is there one down here? No, a lot of times they put a sticker right down here. I think I also got to see if you got to have a engine plate adapter for this pattern from the small pattern, because those the smaller motors have a different deal. I might have to get a look into that. But anyway, so that's where we're at. We're gonna get this thing ripped down today and get her cleaned up. Then we will see if we can't take this engine apart and pull the governor out, because I definitely want to pull the governor out of one of these small motors. So we're gonna let's get to it. Majority of it stripped down. This old neck bolt here is being a little on the stubborn side. Probably the bearings or the bushings in there done seized to the neck bolt. Bolt turns, it's kind of just froze in there. So we're gonna let that soak for a little bit. Then I notice this bracket right here, the red part, they pop riveted this extra piece on there. So I'm gonna take the death wheel and grind those pop rivets down. Get that part off. I don't have the chain guard that goes on this thing. Of course, that's usually one of the hardest things to find is chain guard, clutch cover, all that good stuff. Got a little body work we got to do to the engine plate. But I'm gonna let that soak for a little bit. I'm gonna try and beat that out, get the forks off. Then we're gonna get the frame up on the table, and we're gonna see if this bolt pattern corresponds with the pattern on this deal down here. Which, now that I look at it, it don't. Yeah. Okay, so look at here. This particular one, as you can see, let me get me a pointer. Or a screwdriver. How about this? Look here. No engine holes. Right here, normally on your 212 or whatever you have engine holes. This one doesn't. It's got threads in the bottom of the block, I do believe. Let's lay her over. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I was thinking I might needed an engine plate adapter for. And I think I have one on an old blown up motor out in the shed. Alright, well, we'll be back after I go find out if I have one of those or not. And I get this, the front forks off this rascal. So, let me get that done and then we'll go from there. Okay, it took a little persuasion, but I finally got that neck bolt out of the front. Let's see, where was it at? It actually had bushings in it. So, probably get some new bushings there. Got the bolt out without tearing it up. And while that was soaking, I went and looked in my junk pile. Look what we found here, folks. Yes, we got another junk motor. I have no idea. Probably picked this one. I do believe I picked up at a scrap yard. A lot of times you can, I go to the scrap yard and you can pick stuff up fairly cheap. But, which I'm glad I did, because we have an engine plate, and how these work is, looky there. How many bolts we got in there? Well, we got 2 bolts out of the 4, so we're already ahead of the game. So when you take this engine plate off, is it going to stay? Yeah. This is your engine plate and adapts. You got a bolt here that's missing there. So you got 4 bolts. You bolt this to the bottom of your 79 or 89cc motor, and that allows you to get the wide pattern out here. That's why you don't have bolt holes in the bottom of the block like a regular clone motor, Predator, Tilly, whatever. And another cool thing, look, we got us a clutch. Don't look too bad. Probably need to service it, clean it up. Still got a sticker on it. Whatever. Don't know what brand it is. It's got something on it right there. Oh, let's see. Yeah. Whoa, let me see. If I can read that right. I'm trying to read through the camera and look at it. That's a Comet Industries. That's a Comet clutch. Sweet. Because these shafts on the smaller engines, as you can see right here, are a smaller diameter. I do believe this is 5/8. So whenever I get to it, I'll need to find a bolt for that, find out what thread that is also. But these are different from your typical Predator engine, like a 212, Tilly 212, Honda. These are a smaller crankshaft. Think that's 5/8. I will find out and let you know for sure. So we're ahead of the game. Got us an engine plate. I'm going to get this engine plate off. Go ahead and soak this clutch. Yeah, I don't know if it's got a set screw. I don't see a set screw anywhere. No, I don't see a set screw. Yep, there is a set screw right there. So we're gonna get that soaking. While that's soaking, we're gonna take this thing over to the table. And this is original brackets, which your clutch guard, chain guard went to. Kind of come up and then went back to a tab that probably used to be back here to this bolt hole. One of the two came up, so somebody had pop riveted this to it. So I want to try and keep this. I might end up might try and make a chain guard for it. Don't know. But that's got to come off. Then we're going to come up here to the stuff that got welded on to mount his gas tank, which he kind of took some time to do it, really, because the studs actually went through here, and he has holes in the back, so you're able to come to the back side and get to the nut. Just like right here, you're able to put your bolt all the way through it. So pretty nice fabrication. So we got to get this off without tearing the frame up too bad. We got to dolly out that engine plate a little bit. Not too bad. So everything else looks good. We need to do a little straightening on the fenders. I think I might have some fenders, or I might have some Go Power Sports fenders that we might adapt and put on it. I think some fenders will look kind of cool on these old bikes. So that's where we're at on that. So we'll get to that. Then maybe we can try and get this engine ripped apart. I really want to take this thing apart. All right, this old bird, as you can see when I got it, didn't have any fenders or anything. Obviously, it didn't have a clutch guard. That's one of the main things that's kind of always gone on the old vintage bikes. But I do have a bird, so I went and robbed this one off one of my other bikes, and I'm going to try and put it up here in place without scratching it up. Got a little tab, a little hole back here at the back. Then it's got this brace that mounted at the front, so it's sitting there kind of like so. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to sit this down here so I don't drop it. Got me some manila folders. I'm going to lay everything out and draw me some templates of how this is made. Oh, the thing's sturdy. Just kind of fold it around. This looked like it was one piece. There's no weld line right here. Looked like this piece is folded over, and there's kind of an open seam line right here. They didn't weld it or nothing. They just kind of folded it around and tacked it on the back side. Actually, when I got this, I had to repair it. The whole back of it was ripped off, so I had to kind of make an extension piece. But we're going to draw it out on some templates, or make a template. Then I got some steel over here. I think this is like a 21 gauge. Let's see if this will zoom in. Trying to look through the camera at the same time. Where's my, like a 20 gauge, I guess. Does that fit? 20, yeah, 21 gauge flat plate. So I want to get my templates made out. I'm going to cut it out of this, and we're going to make us a chain guard for this old bird. Alright, next thing we're going to do on the frame, I got everything straightened up. This back fender brace right here was a little wompy jawed, so I went ahead and just cut it out, got it all straightened back up, tacked back into place. Let's see, I got to clean up these last two little spots right here that I filled up these two holes, because you use the top ones. There were some pop rivets right there, so I got to get those touched up. We're going to get this thing blasted today, but I dug around and actually had an extra set of fenders laying around. Let's see if we can spin you around here, get you a part number on these. Yep, these are their I think they call these their Azusa wide mini bike raw steel fender. So these we're going to put on here. Let's see how one looks. Try and do this one-handed. That's going to sit, yeah, we're going to get that set up there where we want it, go from underneath, mark some holes, get those done. And I went back and looked at one of my other bird bikes, which are kind of about the same fender that I got from Go Power Sports, but they have like a little dimple right here on the side where they factory like squish this part in, because it doesn't exactly fit down in there. But if you put a little dimple in the side or notch it out, one of the two, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do. I think I might just notch it so I don't dent the fender all up. But it'll fit real nice and back up a little bit. There we go. It'll fit real nice and pretty in there once you got a few little dimples. Like I said, the factory ones look like they just took and like crushed the side in a little bit, about like where my finger is. They just like squished it in, and then it'll fit right into place. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get the fenders mocked up, get the holes drilled in them, course, get the stickers off. Then we'll get the sand pot out, and we're gonna give this thing a blasting. I was gonna try and leave the chrome fender, see if this will zoom in. This top part, after I got some of the paint kind of stripped off or gave it a pressure washing, it looked like it was chrome down to the lower tree right here. So, but it was, it's pretty rough in some spots. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna blast it and we're just gonna paint it. The whole process, or the whole point on this build, I don't know if I said it before, is we're just gonna do a budget build. I know a lot of y'all guys find a frame at a garage sale, you know, flea market, swap meet, whatever. And some of the engines you can't really mock up. They don't really fit on here well. So the whole purpose of this build is trying to make an inexpensive build. And I'm going to show you the power plant we're going to use for this thing. That's a very inexpensive engine that you can just bolt right on and get to cruising around. So I'm going to get these mocked up. Then we'll grab the engine, show you what we're going to put on there, and we'll go from there. Alright, got the fenders mocked up. See if I can zoom in here and show you what I did. Kind of did the same thing as how the original fenders would be. I just kind of dimpled the edge of this fender, the sidewall of the fender, so it just rolls down inside there. So it looks, you know, kind of factory. I got the back one up here. It's just rocking away, look at it. Anyway, I just got it set up there. That's what it's going to look like. So now it's blast time. And we're going to get it out here. I got the table set up. And got my old Harbor Freight sand pot. Got my hood, some gloves. And it's 500 degrees outside. So now I got to go get my jacket on. Just so I don't get myself sandblasted. And we're going to get this thing knocked out. Already got the paint. Got a cool paint theme that I've been wanting to do. It's going to be kind of corny. But I think it's going to look pretty cool. And it's going to be cheap and inexpensive. So I'm going to turn this thing off. I don't know, maybe we'll put it on time lapse and show y'all how it looks like I'm blasting it. Maybe the wife could hit y'all a crazy tune, and we'll see how the sandblasting goes. Let me get to that part now. It's too hot to be doing this in the summertime. I think I feel a heat stroke coming on. But you want to make it look pretty, you gotta put in the hard work. It's kind of hard work. I got sand where you shouldn't really have sand in places. Ugh. Alright, I'm gonna take a break now. Alright, got the frame painted and got some stuff set out for a rear seat bracket. I got to make that part. We got the front piece here, so I found some metal over there, and I got a piece here, so I got to bend that to make the rear seat bracket. But we got some new bearings to put in the painted wheels, and we're good. I found one tire in my stash pile, and we're going to repurpose one of the, I think this was the front tire that was on it. It seemed to be pretty good shape, so we're going to repurpose the front one. I got us a new one for the back. You go throw that thing out in the hot sun. So we're going to start assembling on this jewel here. I got the front fenders painted, but there's something a little extra I need to do to them. Alright, got the tires mounted. There's the back one there. So I went and grabbed my forks. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing in a roller. I did go ahead and get my bushings installed in the front neck up here. So I'm going to throw all this on the other table, get us a roller, and see what all we can get put on it today. Turn off. Alright, got it up on the table, got the wheels on it. Went ahead and got my brake pad back in there. That's a scrub brake. So, got that done. Let's see. Oh, got the kickstand on it. Yeah, so we got us a roller. Next thing we're going to do is throw some more shocking parts on this thing. Speaking of shocking parts, we got to put some shocks on it. So I got some Go Power Sports shocks here. They're adjustable. Pretty cool. Nice chrome. And I found a seat. I think this is actually from Go Power Sports. I'm not for sure. Normally their seats have Go Power Sports on the back. This one doesn't, but it does have a wood base in it. So I think this one, the bag I had it in was covered in dust. So I might have got it a long time ago, but we're going to say that come from Go Power Sports. Sure enough. Okay, so up here on the bike, this is going to be your front mount right here that pivots. There's some holes right there in the top. Those bolt through right here. These go, there's two bolts that go through here into the bottom of the seat. This kind of pivots, and your seat will come back. Then down here in this hole right here, you'll have a shock that comes up and goes to a brace that's underneath the seat that kind of matches that one, which I do not have. Didn't have one on this bike. If I remember right, this was like square tubing bolted to the seat. So I had this stuff laying around. I'm not sure what it was off of, and I have a piece of flat strap here. So basically I got to make the same, kind of the same design. So what I might do is just, I might just cut this up. I got two of them. This one, the hose are already filled. I might cut this down, cut these tabs off, got to drill holes for the shock. So basically this will go like so underneath the back of the seat. Shocks will be in a hole like right here, etc., etc. So next thing I'm going to do is get this made, get the seat mounted, and then I got my steel over here in the floor. I got a brake in it already. Let's see. I've been bent down. Look at that. Got a brake in it. So what we're going to do there is, oh yeah, we got to remake this chain guard. So I'm going to take that piece of steel over there. Look, I already got grease all over it. Dang it. I got to make one of these too. So we're going to get to the seat part of it, get the seat mounted up. Still waiting on the fenders to dry. Did a little painting on those. So yeah, where are we at? Yeah, so let's get to getting the seat on it. Alright, I just got that shock sitting up there mocked up. I took my seat and laid it across up here where I wanted it, and got my is it going to zoom? Yeah, this will go right here. Bolt go through it. A couple bolts will go through the two holes there in the center, or in the flat part of it, to get the seat mounted. So I think that'll jive pretty good right along yonder right there. So, yeah, there we go. Looks pretty good. So now we got that made. We're gonna take it, throw a little paint primer on it, and let that dry. All right, well, I wanted to set the motor inside of the frame to see how it was gonna actually fit. And as you can see, muffler's hitting the top tubes, and as far as the spacing from the plate to the back holes, yeah, way off, which is kind of a bummer. I really wanted to stick this engine on here, run it stock out of the box, muffler, all that, to see how it sounds, but obviously that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the muffler off, and there's like a, see if we can zoom in on it. The bottom of the muffler, there we go. There's the tube comes down right here, got a clamp on it, and it's got a hose that comes down to all this nonsense down here. Some kind of emission stuff, I'm assuming, which I was gonna get rid of it anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. I did order a header pipe that I was gonna put on it later after we rode it stock, but it doesn't look like that's gonna work. So what I'm going to do now is get all the exhaust off of it, get all that nonsense off, and wait till the pipe comes in, then we can bolt it on. And the flange almost looks like a regular 212 flange, so we're going to see how that jives. And I did notice when you get one of these engines, they just come with a little rubber plug where your kill switch goes, and a regular kill switch. I had one, I pulled off another clone motor, goes right in there, so you can just hook up your ground. This one's got a ground wire on it, then it's got the other little spade wire right here, which will plug right into the harness that goes to your coil for your kill. So just remove the little rubber plug, slap you a new kill switch in there, and then you'll be good to go. Or you get you a handlebar mounted kill switch, but I was going to try and keep this all old school looking and no wires and cable and all that stuff. So if you get one, make sure you get you a kill switch, you're able to kill the motor. All right, well, I'm gonna get this thing back off, get the exhaust ripped off of it, and go from there. All right, I figured before we rip all the exhaust and everything off of it, I throw it up here on the table. Do have oil in it. I didn't hook that up, we ain't worried about it. I wanna see what this thing sounds like stock. So we're going to throw a little gasoline in it, not a lot, and see what this thing sounds like. That'll be enough to make some noise anyway. All right, put the cap back on it. Do have oil in it. Okay, and this thing has a on and off fuel valve. So I'm going to turn that up and down. Turns the fuel on, is up. Could probably hook this up. Yeah, it'll be alright. We'll hook it up later. Alright. Bowl probably should have filled up by now. Let's see. This looks like the throttle. That's choke. That's off choke. Alright, well, let's see how it cranks. All good. I have nothing on the shaft. Alright. Don't have to worry about it being on because there ain't nothing. One pull. Almost. Look at that. That thing is quiet. Wow. Pretty smooth. go ahead. I just want to know what it sounds like with the exhaust and everything on it. Very quiet. So I'll go ahead and get that stuff ripped off, and I guess that'll give me plenty of room to get it in the frame, and then we can wait till the exhaust comes in and crank it up and run it. We'll go from there. Very cool motor. All right, hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back in the shop. We've been having a tremendous thunderstorm, so it's really hard to film, because if y'all seen any previous videos of me out here working and the rain, it's this just doesn't work very well. So I got a few things done to the bike, and I'd like to spin y'all around and show you what's going on. Got a few things here and there. We're gonna take it to candy break. Yeah. My favorite right there. So, pardon me, like I was saying, candy break. They're gonna watch me smack for a minute. Then I've drank about 15 gallons of water today, so we're gonna add something a little sweet to it. Oh, hey, check it out. But I know, IBC root beers are twist off, but that's just so much cooler. It's a rolling can opener, bottle opener, whatever. That's my treat for today. Okay, enough of me smacking and opening a root beer. We're gonna show you where we're at. Let's start with the muffler. Like I said, my whole intention with this project is to put the 98cc motor on, see how it performs, bone stock, out of the box, before I do anything to it. I stuck the engine in the frame, and the muffler wanted to hit the frame. Now this is an old vintage bird bike, and I was like, dang it, I really didn't want to stick a header pipe on it till I do other things, because I wanted it bone stock, see how it sounds, see how quiet it was. So, spin you around, show you what we did with the muffler here. Now, let me see if we can get her to get into zoom. There we go. Now this is a factory muffler. That's still a little warm. Woo, sun. Ouch. Okay, this piece is not hot. This went down. This is right here on the side. Went down and went to all that emission control stuff that was underneath the fan shroud, which some of it's still on there. So basically what I did, let's see if we can get her to zoom here. Get over here, that's hot. I cut this piece out right here. Just took that piece out, put the flange, put it back up. So now that will actually clear. And there was a little bracket that they had that went right here to the valve cover. I went ahead and cut that off. Just so I could make everything clear and I could put this back on the frame. So that way I'll be able to run it with factory setup, exhaust, all that before I do anything else. And got some other stuff done to the frame. So while the paint and all that good stuff was drying, I come over and started making basically a replica of the original fan shroud. I had one off a fan shroud, chain guard. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's been too hot. So what I did is I just traced out my other one pretty much. I still got some cutting back here at the back to do. I got my bend in it. Got a few tack welds on it, so it's cooling down. Got to do some trimming to that. So let's take a look at what we got going on with the bike. Yep, got it pretty much, she's getting there. I thought I'd do something a little different. Now, when I painted this, what I used was the cheapest stuff I could find. Get you a can right here. Got this from Home. Let's see, now where do we get this? Got this from Lowe's. This is the cheapest paint I could possibly find. It's supposed to be, I don't know, what is this? Gloss brown. But I have a theme of this bike, and if you know what that theme is, maybe you might have just seen it a while ago. Hint, hint. But anyway, nothing too flashy, too spectacular, just rattle canned. I did blast the frame and prime it. I just threw the cheapest paint on it I could find. I didn't want to make no kind of fancy show bike or whatnot, but something a little different. Got a little pinstripe kicking around the frame, down the front forks. I think I might come up here and extend this up a little bit. I really wanted to save the chrome on it, but after I got it cleaned up, the chrome was just, yeah, it was just too far gone and flaking off. But now that I got the motor sitting in position where it's supposed to go, we can come over here and grab this exhaust pipe. I wonder if it's cooled down or is it still hot. It's a little warm. Yeah, we'll hold it at the top. So now, since I put that, notch that little section out, they want to scratch my El Cheapo paint job. Looky there. It's close, but at least this way, now I can run it and have the full stock out of the box application on the bike before we change stuff up. So where I'm at now is I got to finish the chain guard. I got my clutch just kind of mocked up on there, so I could go ahead and get my chain ran, get my chain made. So while this is cooling off a little bit, we'll see if it's still warm. Yeah, I think that's cooled off enough. So I can finish getting that done, get it on the bike, figure out where I got to make a hole at the back here, and I kind of got to do some notching on this edge to make it fit the frame. Because I do believe there was a bolt hole. Should be a bolt hole. Can't really see it. Let's see, where's it at? Yeah, little bolt hole right there. There's a screw hole where the back went, and then the front mounted on these here. So I got to make some holes, and we got to get that painted and make it look snazzy. Still waiting on a throttle grip to come in and a cable. I didn't have one because these are these bars up here are like a 1-inch bar, not 7/8. So I did not have an old school looking one, but I got one coming from Go Power Sports. And let's see what we need to do. So I'm gonna, I got the spring. Yeah, I got my spring and everything mounted for the brake. Brake's already on it, so we're good there. Got the shocks mounted, and I did make me a seat bracket out of those two pieces. Did that while it was storming and raining. Got that mounted up there. I think that'll jive. Seat's pretty level. It looks pretty good. So we're going to get back on this chain guard, get it finished up. Then I got to get it stripped down, get some primer and paint on it, figure out what color I'm going to paint that to match the bike. Then we'll get that on and go from there. Alright, we're just about wrapped up with this thing. I got my clutch guard, chain guard painted. Something a little different, but I'm going to go along since I put the white pinstripe on everything else. I think I'm going to go along and put a little white pinstripe on this little scallops I did. So we'll get that bolted on. Got some hardware right yonder. So we'll get that bolted up. And then got my parts in. I needed the throttle cable because I'm going to try and use the old vintage cable that came on this. So I'm going to leave y'all the part number for the cable, which is right yonder. Now this cable's a little different. Normally you have the, see if we can get it to zoom in for you. You got the little barrel that hooks into your throttle assembly. And this cable I got from Go Power Sports because it has a little, how is that? Has a round ball on the end. Now this end I'm going to cut off because I'm going to run it through the throttle assembly. But I needed one with a little round ball on the end because this vintage cable, see if we can get it to zoom in. How about that right there? The hole right here in the end on this one took a old style like ball end that fits. See if we can kind of get it to line up. It's kind of hard to do one-handed. Pull the throttle out. There we go. So it kind of fits in here just like so. So I imagine you could probably take the barrel end and try and stick it in here. It'd probably work. Maybe so. It might fit down in there, but it's kind of a little too thick. You'd have to shave some down. But if you go over here and just use the ball end that's already on the cable, fits in there just like a glove. I got the original two pieces here, and I do have the other grip, the one on the left side handlebar. So I'm going to get this cleaned up. Got a little gunky on the inside, so we're going to get this cleaned up, get it lubed up. I'm going to get the throttle cable on the bike. Like I said, we're going to get the pinstriping on there, and she ought to be about ready to fly. And I did get the other parts in that we're going to use at a later date for this. We got an air filter. We got the air filter adapter. This is for the 79, let's see, 79 through 98 cc. Yes, 79 through 98 cc. This is going to be the adapter. I never put one of these on, so we'll see what it takes to put the adapter on. And got the bigger air cleaner, and also got a header pipe with the supplied hardware. So, but what we're going to do is put this stuff on at a later date because we want to ride this thing box stock out of the box as it is, see how it performs, and then we're going to go back and yank the engine off, beautify it to fit the bike, and see how much more performance we can get out of it with just a few simple upgrades. So I'm gonna get this pinstripe, get the throttle on it, and we should be ready to get her on the ground. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the throttle cable hooked up to it. I got it kind of routed where I want it. It's gonna come through the back. Let's get this handle out of the way. How about, there we go. So what we're gonna do is, this is your cable hold down, and it's a 7mm, so I already got this loosened. And then over here you have the regular barrel that your cable's gonna go through with the Phillips screw on the top. So I got that loosened. Kind of got the cable where I wanted. I'm gonna go back and zip tie it up. But we're just gonna run this through there, right behind here, not to interfere with anything else. Oh, this is the throttle stop screw. So let's say if you have a young one and you don't want them getting crazy, you can screw this throttle in, and that will eliminate or limit how much your throttle opens up, just like so. So we're not going to worry about that for this application. So while we're here, we're just going to go ahead and remove the whole thing, get it out of the way. For now, it's a long bolt. So, like I said, if you got a small one, young grand kiddo, and you don't want them getting crazy with it or whatnot, you can take this thing, screw it in, and that eliminates how far your throttle is going to open up. So in this particular case, we're just going to take it all the way out and go from there. So let's run our cable through here. We're going to snake it right through the little hole in the cable hold down. And I'm going to put the end of the cable, the metal part, right in the center of this clamp, so to grab it real good. Take a 7mm, we're going to tighten this up. Let's see, hold it right there, that'll be good. There we go, that's good. And set the throttle and make sure my throttle is all the way retracted in, or my cable's out, however you want to say that. That looks good right there. So we're going to hold the nut with a 10mm. Take a Phillips, we're going to tighten the top screw. That return spring ought to be pretty good. We'll check it. Yeah, probably need to loosen this nut underneath here a little bit more. There we go, let's see how that works. Yeah, it's a lot better. Alright, we're about ready. Well, let's get that chain guard on. I need to come back and get the rest of the cable zip tied up so it's not catching on anything. And we're about ready to ride. Yeah, alright, we're rolling. Okay, it's that time, folks. It's the Maiden voyage time. So, got the old bike out, and we're going to crank her up again, see how she fires up. Cold start, and we're going to ease it around the block because we are riding one-handed. Don't encourage to do that. It's not very safe. So I don't have one of those fancy 360 camera thingies yet. Wife wants me to get one, but I'm like, I like this selfie stick. But anyway, yeah, blah blah. We're going to crank it up. We're going to rip it around the block safely. All right, so got her down here. Let's see, fuel. Turn that on. I know there's still plenty in it because I really hadn't run it too long. Let's see how it cranks off choke. Flip her on. Let me hold it. Look at that. Let her warm up a second. And super quiet. Golly. All right, kickstand up. Yep, there you go. Alright. You got brakes? Let's check brakes. Yep, we got brakes. Man, this thing's really quiet. Alright, let's see how this thing performs. Let me turn you around here. Are we on? My deal's not lit up in the front. I don't know why. And how come that's not on? Are we on the back? Yeah, it's not on the front. I don't know. Gotta get the wife to look at that, I guess. I don't know. Got buttons that I don't mess with it. that ought to be good. Get some safety glasses on. We are at least gonna do that part. All right, should I be warmed up enough? Let's get this out here. A little bit more. How about that? I don't know where my screen's at on the front. It's not lighting up. All right, kickstands up, gas is on. Let's go. Woo. No cars. You can probably hear me on this test ride, huh? There we go. All right. Where we turn off at? Right here. All right. About done with this thing, or this part of it anyway. But if I could give you a walk around. Neighbors honking. Hey, see y'all later. All right, anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, thought I'd give you a quick walk around. How the bike turned out. Nothing fancy. The whole point of this build was to build kind of a budget build. I used the cheapest spray paint and the primer that I could find, but I did use some top-notch parts like the shocks from Go Power Sports. I think that is a Go Power Sports seat. The new ones say Go Power Sports on the back, but I think this is one I picked up a long time ago. This is on the shelf. Throttle cable, bearings, you know, stuff that makes the bike safe. Some tires that I had laying around. I repurposed one tire. But anyway, and this the Go Power Sports 98cc engine, my opinion, is this thing is pretty stinking peppy. I turned the camera off, or come back, put the selfie stick down, and took it out for a good rip where I could ride safely with both hands on the handlebars. And this little thing is a powerhouse. Like I said, I've never ran one before, never taken one apart, obviously because everybody goes with a bigger motor. But this thing is perfect for like the first time mini bike person, grandkids, young kids, that you don't want them getting hurt on. but something that would still move them around, you know, and it does have the adjustable throttle piece right here that you can limit the throttle of how fast you want them to go, which I took this one out. So it has that capability. But man, this thing is, it's very impressive in my opinion for a 3 horsepower motor, I guess. 98 cc, whatever that is, 3.5. And basically that's what the older bikes came with, was an old flathead, 3.5 horse, 4 horse motor. So it moves this bike with me on it along really, really well. So I know Go Power Sports is running a really good deal on these motors, and it's super quiet, easy to crank. For the horsepower it is, you just barely have to pull it and it fires up, runs extremely smooth. So say you got a go-kart, you already picked up a mini bike frame like this one and you need a power plant, very inexpensive, bolted on. This one did, when I got it, did come with the engine plate that you'll need down there. So it already had the plate mounted onto it. But we are going to do some different things to this. I'll ride it around a little bit more. Maybe I'll get a top speed on how this thing does, and before we remove the governor, put the heavy breather on it, put a header pipe on it, and make it look more presentable to the frame. We're gonna doll it up a little bit. But I wanted to see how it ran out of the box. And if anybody of y'all have caught by now, the goofy paint scheme I come up with. We always have problems picking out paint schemes, and you're probably wondering, that's kind of ugly with the goofy red and the white pinstripe. Well, I love Tootsie Rolls, what can I say? So we're gonna call this a Tootsie Roll bike. What do y'all think? But anyway, big shout out to Go Power Sports for supplying me with the parts and the engine for this here build. So if you're looking for a power plant for your new mini bike frame that you just got, I would go definitely check them out. Tell them I sent you. So with that being said, flip y'all around here. That being said, we're gonna put an end to this video right here. Man, getting the shade there. There we go, we're back in focus. We're gonna put an end to this video, but like I said, I'm gonna ride it around a little bit more. Maybe see if I can get a top speed run on what it does. I'm not sure what the gearing is on it. I think it's a 12 tooth on the clutch and I think a 70 on the rear. Maybe I'll get that information. If y'all want that information, leave me a comment. Maybe I'll get a top speed run on it, and then we're gonna yank the governor out, show you that video because I've never seen the inside of one of these motors. Got a header pipe for it, and we're going to put a heavy air cleaner on it. Like I said, we're going to doll the motor up and make it fit the bike, because right now it looks a little too new for this old vintage bird. So if y'all liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new, go over and hit the subscribe bell, be greatly appreciated. I got some crazy ideas coming up for new videos. If y'all like the rat rod wagon and y'all thought that was pretty cool, I got something in the works that I've never seen anybody build before or do that I know of. Somebody probably has, but I'm gonna try and get that bunch of junk gathered up and see if I can build something junkier and way cooler than that. Maybe that's the plan. Staying. Anyway, thank y'all very much for taking the time to watch. Y'all take care. Ride safe.